Hello, howdy, happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, hanging out with some of our rescued residents. That's Kitu and Lavani, our two and only cheetahs here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Here's some lion songs in the background, so I'll let them be the true introduction to the live post. That's Leo singing, "I just had the best lunch ever." Hey everyone, welcome. As always, I gotta let the lions do the talking if they start caroling here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Happy to have everybody along, and look at us. It's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and we are absolutely excited to have everybody here on a scheduled time on these live posts. We asked, you answered, you said that 2 p.m. Central Standard Time is going to be the best time for you to enjoy all things Wildcat Sanctuary on our live posts here. Mr. Kitu and Lavani, looks like they decided to head inside after UTV drove up to their building, so they're like, let's go see things in here. But we're going to be doing something pretty exciting during today's live. Caretaker Elyse, who's wrapping up some feeding up in our Wildcat Pines area. Oh, here goes Caretaker Rio. She's wrapping up. Give everybody a wave to Rio. Elyse is wrapping up some feeding in Wildcat Pines, and we're actually going to be feeding Leopard Shazam a little bit later on during this live post. So if you're just tuning in, stick with us. We're going to get some cat time in the meantime before we feed Shazam, but certainly something to look forward to as we start our sanctuary stroll here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Hi, Hindra from, all the way from South Africa. So 9 p.m. where you are. Holy cow. I see some other people telling us what time zone they're in. It's always cool to see the global following that the Wildcat Sanctuary has. Look through some more comments while I'm putzing down the way here. Happy Monday to you as well, Daria. Stunning Kitu and Lavani. That's right, those boys were hanging out in the shade right at the beginning of our post. Well, where'd your brother go, Miss Mansa? I heard him singing. He says, well, he just went off to continue doing lion things, patrolling his habitat, finding different areas to nap, be it in the shade or in the sun. You got all types of options, don't you, Leo? Here's Miss Mansa. And Mansa really loves hanging out up in this corner because she can get a good look at her wildcat neighbors. She can often find her watching the Tiger TV, what we call here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, the Tiger Trio across the way. And you'll also just see her knowing that this is an extra great spot to keep an eye on those pesky caretakers. When are they going to be coming by with your food, Mansa? It's never soon enough, is it? Never soon enough. Lori's tuning in from Vermont. It's 3 p.m. where you are. Stephanie Rutherford is asking, how big has Dash gotten? You know, that's a really great question. Dash, we're actually talking about at our morning meeting here. We're looking forward to celebrating his 1-year birthday coming up in November. Yeah, that's just me, the paparazzi talking. I can give you space if you want me. Yeah, it's just me, the paparazzi back here. But Dash is going to be, he's coming up on 1 year. He's crossed that 100-pound mark. And he is, as we always say, a tiger in training. And he is a tiger who is grow, and growing. So he's continuing to grow, but he's just about past that 100-pound threshold. And we're looking forward to him continuing to grow and continuing to become the healthy adult tiger that he was born to be. Oh, and there's Mr. Leo. You can see making his way through the free roaming habitat. He says, hey, you're over here, sister. How's it going? Yeah. Is she the boss of you? He says, yeah, she is. Oh. Welcome everyone. If you're just joining us, you're tuned into the Wildcat Sanctuary here. We've been spending some time with some of our rescued residents here at TWS. Oh, look at Miss Mansa. We can't see her that well, but she just picked up her tire toy and is gnawing on her tiger toy there. Great to see the pace of life that your support allows our cats to enjoy. Just watching Leo and Mansa stroll around their free-roaming habitat, enjoying their day. Mansa says, hey, I've been laying over here enjoying myself. I'm going to go and play with this toy and enjoy myself. So that is always awesome to see, and really cool to let our predators take advantage of the enrichment opportunities that we're providing them. And those durable hard plastic toys are always a favorite among our big cat residents. Lori M saying, that was a big flop, Leo. That was a big plop. Leo loves just flopping on down. And another favorite amongst Leo and Mansa is scent enrichment. Oftentimes, if we just spray any type of watered down perfume or be it spices, these guys just absolutely love it. And you'll see Leo do exactly like he just did there. A rather hard plop, and he will roll and rub on those scents. It's always fun. Hey, Mona, thank you for the 200 stars. Very much appreciate that. Oh, look at Mansa. You were carrying that tiger toy around, weren't you? Were you carrying that tire toy around? We saw you. I saw you. Didn't catch it quick enough for the camera. But if you're just joining us, everyone, we're hanging out with Leo and Mansa at the moment. I think Caretaker Elyse will be joining us quite shortly, and we're actually going to be feeding Black Leopard Shazam during today's live post. So I hope everyone's looking forward to that. Oh, as a matter of fact, there she is right behind me. And then we're also going to get a little chat from Miss Elyse, because it's always so amazing to hear all that our caretakers accomplish during the day. She was just up feeding many of our bobcat residents up in Wildcat Pines. She's obviously got a whole other list of chores to do, and now she's coming down here to Wild Woodlands to do some feeding with Shazam. How's it going, Miss Elyse? Thanks for joining us this afternoon. And look at Henry, he says, hey, I'll take some of that delicious food too. All right. Now, Shazam is one of two rescued black leopards who call the Wildcat Sanctuary home. Oh, speak of the devil, there he is. Hey, mister. And you'll hear Shazam be his vocal self during this feeding here. And this is a great time for Elyse to examine Shazam's body condition, look at his mouth, see what side of the mouth he's eating on. And you guys know that we've had some scares with Shazam. Fortunately, they've all turned out positively, but we've had some scares where caretakers like Elyse have noticed lumps on him. And he's got that dark black coat, so you can imagine how keen of an eye that you need to notice those lumps. So this is just a great time for us to get a good one-on-one look with Shazam, because obviously we here at the Wildcat Sanctuary are a no-contact sanctuary and don't have free contact with our residents. So obviously at least staying at a safe distance and being able to feed Shazam and get a close look at him is a great opportunity to make sure that he is staying safe and healthy. And that's her asking him to go up, so she's looking at his belly there. Make sure he doesn't have any hot spots or he's over grooming. It's always fun to get a glimpse at our wildcats feeding, and you've heard us say this lots of times during our live posts and even on our traditional social media posts. If Shazam could talk, if we could ask Shazam, hey mister, what's your favorite time of day? And he would say the word food. food. Hey Robin, thanks for joining us. Hey Mary, thank you for joining us. Hope everybody's enjoying their afternoon today. We are doing some feeding with Black Leopard Shazam today. That's Caretaker Elyse, who's taking some time out of her day to feed Shazam outside for us so we can get an idea of how we maintain our caretaking and husbandry standards here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We're talking how we use this feeding as an opportunity. You can actually see Elyse, who was just spraying a little bit of hot spot spray on Shazam's arm because we had noticed some over grooming at the beginning of last week. And it's just such a great opportunity, like I've talked about before, just for us to get a close look at Shazam and to make sure that a cat like him, who's prone to developing masses, and fortunately all of these masses have been benign, but us being able to see one of those masses and act quickly is going to give us the best likelihood of getting Shazam back on the right path. So it's great to really see just right here a one-on-one look of this, because this is such an integral part of making sure that cats like Shazam is healthy, and such a great example of the individualized attention that we give our residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Elyse, Daria Durza wants you to know that she adores you and she thanks you for taking such excellent care of the cats.
Well, thank you, Daria.
And I think Daria is voicing just about every single one of our Facebook followers' opinions. So thank you for everything that you do for the cats. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day here. And truthfully, everyone, I think Elyse would admit too, any extra time that she can get with this cat right here, Shazam, I don't think Elyse will have any harsh words to say about it. So, well, thank you, Elyse. We really appreciate it. And before you go, I'm just curious, what have you been doing today? You've been up in Wildcat Pines feeding. You're wearing lots of hats. So I always just love kind of just giving everybody a glimpse of, tell me what time you got here today and what you have done today up until this point.
Well, actually, I was overnight, so I've been here since yesterday.
Okay.
I'll share an overnight shift that we're here to watch cats if there's anything medical too for overnight. So I did start at 7 to do prep. So I started the prep to help with a whole sanctuary. We have 126, so it's a lot of diets we got to get ready. And then after that, it's medications and rounds. So helping with that, doing some of the little guys and big guys.
And at this point, the office staff hasn't even arrived yet.
Not
so
yet.
This
you guys
is
aren't here yet.
exactly. So I mean, you're drumming away. You know, you're here, like I said, overnight. So yeah, your day has already well started, and the office staff hasn't arrived.
Oh yeah. So then after that, it's kind of doing check-ins with any of our cats that, like we said, with medical again. And we do have a few cats that are on strict times in which they get their medication. So making sure that we're making it out there at the time that they have to have their medication. And then after that, it's feeding the rest of the populace. We have other areas that need to be fed earlier to help curb behaviors if they start getting anxious for their food. And then after that, it's feeding, like he said, I was out at Wildcat Pine, so I was doing that. I also was helping sanitize the prep room to keep everything good for our food prep for our cats. We have a high geriatric population, so making sure everything's cleanly where we prep. You can hear my radio going on.
I was going to interject. You can hear Elyse's. That's a direct radio call coming into Elyse. I am going to let you answer that. But I mean, just a little bit of insight as to the incredible amount of hard work that our caretakers are putting in every single day. You know, today is just a Monday, and that's just another Monday for Elyse, and which is why we do our best to give her the recognition that her and her coworkers deserve. So thank you, Elyse. We very much appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Shazam.
Right,
you big goofball. Are you licking your chops? Are you licking your chops? Off to go check some locks, Elyse, I imagine?
Actually, it was waters. We're doing some waters, so our intern in training was...
That's right. You were also doing some intern training as well. So you have a busy rest of the day ahead of you, so we won't take any of that away. All right. Thank you so much again, Elyse. Thank you, Miss Elyse. And what are you? Oh, lots of applauding emojis as well for Elyse. That's awesome, everyone. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Shazam. Nancy Hodel saying, so inspiring to hear what goes on every day for these precious cats. That's right, every day, 24/7, 365. Our hardworking staff and interns are taking care of the rescues that you guys do so much to support. Oh, you climbing high, big guy? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice spot for Shazam. So you've heard that we had been doing a little winterizing and taking down shade cloths and things like that. But Shazam, being a geriatric leopard, as well as a black cat, we're keeping his shade cloth up for as long as we can, just to make sure that he's still able to enjoy some of his favorite hangout spots comfortably. So you can see this is one of Shazam's favorite haunts, is right on top of his tallest perch structure in his habitat. And I'll zoom all the way in. He's kind of peering across the way, looking at what all the other cats are up to, perhaps wondering, where did that wonderful caretaker go, and why didn't she bring me an endless supply of food? I'm certainly going to make sure that Elyse goes through and reads these comments. I really appreciate everyone offering their applause and thanks to Elyse for all the work that her and her fellow staff and interns are doing. That's really, really awesome of everybody. It really is, Shazam. He says, I know, she's the best. Here somebody making a joke about how we're prepping nearly 400 pounds of food a day for our rescued residents, and how that would be the downfall just in and of themselves, as they don't even they have trouble even prepping their own food. So yep, you can imagine, I mean, just getting yourself ready for dinner or lunch can be an undertaking. And, you know, imagine getting your dinner and lunch ready for 100 versions of you. Daniel, you're asking how big do you think Dash will get? You know, we'd like to think that Dash will be able to grow, you know, the regular full size of an adult tiger, you know, similar to something like his father Marcus would be. So we're making sure that he's hitting all those developmental milestones, which we've been sharing with you guys, our lovely supporters. And obviously Dash has been receiving all the things diet-wise and nutrition-wise to make sure that he's hitting those benchmarks. Hey Torben, what an awesome comment. I have so much respect for all the caretakers who work with these wonderful animals. It is surely not an easy job. Thanks a lot. Torben, you're right about that on all accounts. I certainly have an incredible amount of respect for Tammy and the staff and what they've done here. And it's not an easy job, physically and emotionally. If you think about the week that we had last week with the losses of Wally and Marlene, that from an emotional standpoint, it can be very, very trying. And then obviously from a physical standpoint, they're bending over, they're picking stuff up, they're cutting stuff down and doing all types of things. We oftentimes when we are interviewing for our animal care interns, we ask if any of it would be doing on a farm. Mansa, you are just enjoying yourself. I want to go and maybe see if we can see Mr. Henry the bobcat, because we feel like we haven't seen this fella on a live post in a little bit. I want to welcome everyone and thank those who have been tuned in here to the Wildcat Sanctuary on this wonderful Monday here. We got to see a little bit of the cheetahs, and then kind of the main star of the show was doing a feeding with Caretaker Elyse and Leopard Shazam. So perhaps you tuned in halfway through that, or maybe you just missed it. I am going to implore you to watch the full live post so you can see that special moment of Shazam enjoying his lunch, as well as hearing some insight from Caretaker Elyse about some of the operations here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Are you just, I feel like Mr. Henry is walking me back towards the building to where his lockout is, because you guys are familiar with our lockout systems, which is how we feed our bobcat residents and serval residents. And were you just walking me towards your lockout thinking that I was going to give you the num-nums? That's the caretakers. That's the caretaker's goofball. Julie Ann is asking, how is Wally doing? Wally is doing well. I was hearing at Huddle that Mr. Wally had a good weekend, and kind of obviously, like we've said, that we're making sure that he's getting all the attention that he needs. And Wally sometimes likes to be, to have his space. So we're also making sure that we're not crowding him and making him feel uncomfortable. But Wally is doing well. So thank you for asking about him. Just looking through some comments here while Leo is my backdrop. I think we're going to take a right and maybe see what Jeremy or Simon, and perhaps maybe we could see Sabrina from afar too, Sabrina the tigress. Michelle Watts is asking, can you visit Claude soon? I would love to do that. That sounds like a great idea to include in a live post this week. That's Claude, the three-legged bobcat, a wild-born bobcat who calls the Wildcat Sanctuary home. That's a marvelous idea, so thank you for recommending that. Let's look at some more comments while we head this way. And hey, I mentioned at the beginning of the post, but here we are, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, our new scheduled time here for our live post at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We mentioned in a Facebook post earlier, although we have nailed down this reliable 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, that does in no way rule out any other impromptu live posts. For example, tomorrow we have our vet day, and there's going to be some cat scene up in our veterinary hospital, and we are planning on doing a live post from there. So you can certainly count on those kind of peripheral live posts happening outside of that 2 p.m. window. But have no doubt, you can always rely on that 2 p.m. Central Standard Time from a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. All right, so I see something special from afar, and I want to make sure that I give her plenty of space. So I'm actually going to walk along this side of Pride Prairie. I see Sabrina the tigress, who absolutely loves laying strategically along her shared wall so she can have the company of the Tiger brothers, Simon and Jeremy. So I see her hanging along her shared wall, and I'm going to make sure not to ruin her relaxation time and give her lots of space. And we'll get a good zoom in from across the way. So I think this should be pretty fun. And Tiger Sabrina, if you're not familiar with her, she unfortunately is one of our most scared and fractious tigers. And rightfully so. She has a pretty traumatic past after being found on a Texas property free roaming. She was then, what word should I use? She was not anesthetized when she was sedated. And so she was pretty much aware for the entire situation and was actually living in the back of a horse trailer until she was then able to come up to the Wildcat Sanctuary. And so Sabrina gets to act like the tigress that she wants to act like. And sometimes she can be a little protective of her space, and which is why I am doing exactly that and giving her plenty of room to enjoy herself. Is that your favorite hangout spot when the boys are up there? Is that your favorite hangout spot? Oh, man, I just love that. And it's really special with context. I was mentioning that Tiger Sabrina, makes it very clear that people are not one of her favorite things in the world, but she's made it clear that other tigers are. And for her to have this opportunity of being able to sit along that shared wall, and you'll constantly see Jeremy and Simon either sitting right along that shared wall with her or just off of it, or periodically throughout the day, they'll walk along that shared wall and give her chuffs, 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 and she'll chuff right back at them. So it's a rare moment when Sabrina is chuffing, and to see her chuffing back at those lovely boys is really something special. So I'm glad we got to see her enjoying her little sun time. Sweet Sabrina, that is right. And I'm going to encourage everybody to read Sabrina's story in full. We actually have a photos of that rescue as well, and be able to give a much more detailed story of what Sabrina experienced and why we're so thankful to have her here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Torben, I don't know the exact age of Tigress Sabrina, but I do know that she's considered a geriatric cat, and I almost want to say that she might be one of our oldest residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So I'm going to, I'll have to reference my age chart and not misinform anybody, but regardless, that was really cool, and I'm glad that we were able to share that. And on my left, I do have a witness protection cat, so that's why I do have the camera turned this direction. Here's Sabrina. She says, "All right, off I go." Off she goes. That was cool, everybody. I appreciate you being patient as we do what we do best here, is not put any of our residents in an uncomfortable situation. And a tigress like Sabrina, she wants all the space that she can get. So that was great that we got to watch her from the other side of the street there. All right. I think we'll go obligatorily. We're here in Feline Meadows, Roar Ridge. We'll go and say hi to Tiger Dash, and then I think we will sign off for the afternoon. But it has been a fun post, everyone. Shazam. Hearing some of those really interesting insights from Elyse about her day and what it's like being a caretaker here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Man alive. Simon and Jeremy have a pool that has just been cleaned. I'd love if you guys came and splashed around in it. Must be hanging out in their indoor bedrooms. But let's go see what Mr. Dasher do. Because we fielded a couple Dash questions in today's post. And I'll talk a little bit more about it later in the week. And you guys will obviously hear the news at the end of the week. But I am going to give my little tease for you to sign up for our TWS e-newsletter, which goes out every Tuesday and Thursday. And without saying too much, Mr. Dash, we have some exciting news to share. There's Miss Shadow, who is being saying, "Hey, you young tiger, you better be acting appropriate, I tell ya. Always listen to your elders, Mr. Dash." But yes, we're going to be sharing some exciting news, and as always, our TWS e-newsletter is going to be the most direct means of which to gather that information. So we're excited about that, Mr. Dash, aren't we? Aren't we? Nadia, that's right. There goes old Judson teasing everybody again. I hear you talking over there, Miss Shadow. I hear you talking. You're enjoying your afternoon, aren't you, Mr. Dash? And, fall wants to arrive, it seems. We're getting cooler nights, but still warmer days. So you saw Jeremy and Simon, they still have their pool that has some water in it. Dash, we're still filling up his pool. And still making sure that all of our cats have some of their favorite summer activities while still keeping an eye on that forecast, making sure that we're not going to do any damage to our pipes, obviously. Are you showing us your belly? Are you showing us your belly? Erica Thompson just remarked, "Wow, Dash is staying still." I think I might agree with that sentiment as well. I will say he's just got that fiery look in his eyes, like he's ready to stalk the paparazzi here. So maybe we'll end with a Dash stalk. Hey, Testine, thank you for the 200 stars. That is 39 weeks, holy cow, in a row that you have sent stars. So thank you for that, Tess. That is truly awesome of you. And for those who are unfamiliar, hey, pretty boy, hey, ya pooper. And for those who are unfamiliar with Facebook Stars, a cool little program that Facebook actually created, where you're able to purchase stars from Facebook. 1 star equals 1 cent, and then you're able to donate those to your nonprofit of choice. So thank you for that, Tess. and everyone else who's given stars on this post. I see we're at 650. Oh, looks like we thought we could get away from Caretaker Elyse, but I see her doing some operant conditioning training with Bobcat Tao right behind us, so I think we'll end with that. And so Tao, if you guys remember, came to us overweight, and Tao was also forepaw declawed. And so Elyse has been doing some operant conditioning training with Tao, helping her raise her paw up and hopefully getting her to extend those ligaments that had contracted from her declaw. And her being able to extend those ligaments is just going to help a lot with arthritis down the line and preventing that as well. So this is actually really cool. And one of the operant conditioning training sessions we haven't shared yet here on Facebook. So I'm excited about this. And the operant conditioning is something you've seen here a lot here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and we use it in a variety of ways. So it's cool. We've talked about it with Shazam, so it's great to see how we're implementing it with Miss Tao here as well. You can hear Elyse just did a whistle. That was Tao extending her paw out and hopefully kind of stretching those ligaments inside of that paw. Good girl. That's a good girl. And that's Elyse just asking Tao to wait and wanting her not to get overexcited. That was Elyse just asking for paw, and Tao was able to then offer her paw. You can hear maybe a whistle from Elyse. And then that's her, and then Elyse comes behind that with the reinforcement. And obviously if Tao, woke up and said, hey, you know what, I don't really feel like participating in this today, we're never going to force Tao to participate in one of these operant conditioning settings. We're never going to withhold food or do anything like that. This is all voluntary, and it's all something that will hopefully benefit her in the long run. Which is really a great example as to all of the things that we're trying to do here at the Wildcat Sanctuary and the best lives that we're trying to provide for our residents here. And another thing you guys might not be able to hear is Tao is grumbling. She is grumbling, and she is letting us know that she is doing all of this on her own terms. And she's saying, I am in control here. And you are right about that, Miss Tao. You are the boss. All right, everyone. Awesome, awesome. It was such a special opportunity to see Tao. We got to see Dash, but really awesome to see just how much is accomplished here in one day here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Training, feeding, you name it. So it's been a blast bringing everybody along today on one of our sanctuary strolls. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So again, thank everyone for tuning in today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next live post. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.